Hi kids, this is Super Angry Monkey, and welcome to the Super Angry Monkey Show, where we tell you everything you didn't know about everything you don't want to know. Today is story time. Once upon a time, there was a man named Mike Hunt, ridiculous name notwithstanding. Mike was told when he was younger that the name was a family name. It turns out that Mike's father lied. So either Mike's father was a sadistic bastard, or Mike's mother was a completely oblivious twat living in a fantasy world where everyone is always nice. Probably a little bit of both. Interesting name aside, Mike grew up to be the perfect little working bee working in the corporate hive. Mike Hunt was very dissatisfied with his work, which was to basically look at, review, read, go over, and rubber stamp someone's actual work. There was one small spot of joy in Mike Hunt's dreary, awful day, and that was a woman by the name of Natalia. Natalia was everything that Mike wanted in a woman: beautiful, funny, smart, witty, and stacked like this. But Mike Hunt was still missing a vital key to the puzzle, the key that every man really looks for in a woman: consent. Mike was still waiting to hear those special words come out of Natalia's mouth, that day when she looked at Mike Hunt in the eye and said, "Do me on the copying machine." To make matters worse, Mike Hunt's cock was being perpetually blocked by one of his bosses, Rick. Rick was an asshole. Rick was not only an asshole, he was the asshole. And you know what I'm talking about here. He was one of those assholes. Those assholes that you've met in various incarnations, but they all look and smell the same. Slicked back hair, a car that would have been considered nice 10 years ago, fat, hairy chest hanging out of his unbuttoned shirt. And most importantly, he made a lot more money than Mike Hunt. Then, one day, Natalia came into work crying. Mike seized this opportunity to console her and worked his way into her friendship. He said everything right. He was the man. He even managed to resist the temptation to grope her enormous knockers and actually listen to what she had to say. He stood strong like a pillar of masculinity. He was her shoulder to cry on. She agreed to one date. It was a fantastic date. It even ended like a fairy tale, with him walking her to the door, kissing her on the cheek, and walking off triumphantly in the night, thinking that he had secured a place in her heart forever. Then, the next day at work, Mike Hunt brought Natalia flowers, and he caught her and Rick having nasty makeup sex on the copying machine. Their copying machine. Mike's heart dropped. At that moment, he walked up to Natalia and Rick with tears in his eyes, saying, "How could you do this to me?" Natalia said, "Mike, it's not what you think." But Mike Hunt didn't want to hear what she had to say anymore. He was a shoulder to cry on when she needed it, and she had stabbed him through the heart. So Mike wanted to return the favor. And then Mike drew a semi-automatic air-powered assault weapon, pumping round after round into Natalia's skull, Rick, and all of his co-workers. The entire time, all Mike Hunt could say was, "You were supposed to love me! When Mike had finished his bloody rampage, he shot himself in the face. Some would call him a hero, but the moral of the story is, don't name your kid Mike Hunt, dickhole. Have a nice day.